Hi, today we will presenting about the hurricanes Helene and Milton that recently occurred here in the US and how they were both natural and mainly economic disasters. Today it'll be me along with Aaron, Oliver, and Nabeel presenting on this topic. Here's our table of contents. We'll start with a timeline of events, then we will move into the industries affected and the supply chain disruptions, then the impact on US jobs and the insurance industry, and lastly, we will go over how to better prepare for future hurricanes and a brief conclusion. Here's a brief timeline of what occurred during both Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. So on September 23rd through 25th, Helene began to intensify and emergency orders were put in place in both Georgia and Florida. By September 26th through 28th, Helene was a Category 4 hurricane and made landfall starting in West Florida and then moving up the coast. By October 5th, only a week later, Milton strengthened to a Cat 5 hurricane and also made landfall in Florida, but only as a Category 3. And October 8th through 10th, there was a large assessment of physical damages, and major industries were immediately affected, and that's what we will be going over in our presentation today.
Hi, my name is Aaron. As mentioned, the disastrous effects of the hurricanes were more than just natural and personal. They also had tremendous effects on various industries, such as the automotive and logistics industries, as well as the semiconductor supply chain. The automotive industry was greatly affected. According to Carfax, the 2024 hurricane season has resulted in approximately 347,000 vehicles with flood damage so far, not including damages to vehicles and possessions of automakers and dealerships. Of the 347,000, about 138 were from the Hurricane Helene, 120 from Hurricane Milton, and 89,000 from other smaller storms. Already, people are seeing increased prices for new and used vehicles, not to mention the number of unsuspecting people falling to scammers selling the cleaned up, flooded vehicles. Logistical nightmares after natural disasters can be wildly unpredictable, but are always inevitable. Across multiple states, the hurricanes caused freight delays due to damage to railroads, port closures due to pre-hurricane shutdowns and post-hurricane assessment protocols, and halted or rerouted trucking operations caused by the storms, damaged highways, and detours causing additional strain and increasing costs. These complications have caused fuel shortages as well as disrupted the movement of raw materials and food products. The hurricanes also affected the semiconductor supply chain on a global level. Spruce Pine, North Carolina is home to one of the world's purest quartz mines and the largest producer of high quality pure and high purity quartz used in semiconductor manufacturing. According to Microchip USA, high purity quartz is the material used to fabricate fused quartz crucibles, which are used to make silicon ingots. The silicon ingot is sliced into wafers, and those wafers are transformed into microchips. The hurricanes had significant impacts on the quartz supply chain, decreasing the supply of necessary materials, halting production, inflating cost, and spreading doubt about the stability of the quartz-made silicon-based semiconductors. Now I pass it off to Oliver.
Thank you, Aaron. Wow. Well, Florida, I don't know if you guys been to Florida before, but it is, the some of the main sectors, in the economy are related to tourism, to hotels, to restaurants, like agriculture, and definitely events like this definitely like disrupt the operation of businesses, like it creates a lot of like lost jobs. As an example, Hurricane Helene, there were 40 to 50,000 like lays off. And this happened on the month of September. And also about 258,000, the unemployment claims. So even, there wasn't a study from Oxford Economics that mentioned that the trajectory encompassed an area consisting of uh, like 2.8% of the United States GDP. So this is huge. And yes, even though there after an event like this, there are a lot of construction jobs and repair jobs, but definitely it's a very slow recovery. Yeah, very, very difficult for U.S. jobs. And then in our next slide, we're gonna talk about the insurance, and wow, this is also a critical area. For Hurricane Milton, they estimated there were going to be 60 to 80 billion, in losses, and definitely after an event like this, insurance rates go to like they raised a lot, and the premiums, and even insurance companies they struggle like they sometimes they cannot even pay, and some of them they go bankrupt. And this happens for cars as well, for boats. And just as a reference, in the United States, one on every 13 houses is uninsured. Huge. And just to finish, like Hurricane Katrina, happen even though it happened in New Orleans, but it is the costliest, natural, disaster with over 100 billion. So definitely a big has an event like this has a big impact on the insurance industry. And I'm gonna pass it now to Nabeel.
My name is Nabeel, and I'm going to be talking about preparing for hurricanes and how businesses can better prepare for hurricanes. So, preparing for an approaching hurricane can be a daunting task for businesses, but with sufficient planning, this protects people, infrastructure, and the future of the business. The first step in this process includes constructing a written hurricane preparedness plan. This plan provides tasks to be completed during all stages of the hurricane. It includes information on protecting the buildings, data and records used in the company, and physical goods that the company possesses on site. Moving items that require special handling or is crucial to your inventory should be evacuated first. And having a list of these items can ensure that there isn't any confusion in times of need. Hurricane supply chests contain essential supplies in case of an emergency. Examples of these include cell phones, portable lights, plastic bags, labels, and many more items included. Having copies of your data from the business offsite is important because if your data is lost during a natural disaster, it can be devastating to the continuation of the company. Utilities such as gas and water lines are to be shut down ahead of time. Not only does this minimize damage to the property, but it protects everyone there on the site as well. Having a backup power system can provide a business further operation if a power outage were to occur. The generator delivers electricity in all shapes of sizes, and investing in a machine can be extremely useful. Moving on to the main takeaways. Hurricanes can be unpredictable with roughly 5 days to tell if one is approaching, and actions need to be taken instead of planning. As stated earlier, these storms can harm industries and infrastructure as well as impacting those who are working. And I was the last one to present, so these are our works cited.
All right, thank you so much
Thank you.
for listening to our presentation. I hope you
Thank
guys
you all.
learned a few things.